Hey everyone, it's Tyler with Universal Rackets, and in this video we're going to be doing a full masterclass on how to get more power on every single one of your pickleball shots. So make sure you buckle your seatbelts and stay tuned because this is going to be an amazing video. Now there's a reason when you go out and you watch professional pickleball, it looks like they're not even trying. They're just so effortlessly hitting forehand and backhand drives, hitting super powerful putaways, and the reason why is because they're using these tips and tricks that we are going to go over in this video. If you want to hit power on any one of your shots, if it's your serve, if it's your drive, or if it's your putaway, you have to understand, number one, the main concept that power, it doesn't come from swinging as hard as possible. Power comes from rotation and acceleration. Once again, if you can rotate and you can accelerate and you can get your momentum into your shot, you are going to be able to generate effortless power. If you use your arm and your shoulder, number one, you're going to hurt your elbow, you're going to hurt your arm, you're not going to be able to play pickleball for a long time. And number two, you're not going to be able to rip the ball super hard because it's always going to go long. If you want to have power, you need to let the paddle work for you instead of working for the paddle. You need to position your body properly so now the paddle is loose, but your body's doing all of the work. The number one thing that we're going to start with is rotation. Regardless of your pickleball serve, your drive, or your put-away volley, if you can rotate your body, you are going to be able to generate effortless power. Now notice, this is why players can't hit power on their serves or their drives or their returns. When they're serving or they're driving or they're returning, they're just hitting and their body is open. If my body is open or if my body is facing like this, I'm going to be using all of my arm and all of my shoulder. If you want to rotate, and again, rotation and acceleration equals power, you need to make sure your body is turned. If you want to hit a more powerful backhand, instead of being like here and just swinging, I'm going to turn my body sideways. Notice when my body's sideways, my hips are facing to the side, my paddle is back. Now I am able to turn my body and rotate throughout my shot. Again, many players, they can't hit powerful shots because they're standing like this and they have to just arm the ball. By turning sideways, that's going to allow my body to once again rotate. And also, just to take that a step further, notice my paddle take back. Many players, they don't take their paddle back. So maybe they're turned, but their paddle is here. If my paddle's here, I have no momentum and I have to use my whole arm to swing forward. Instead of my paddle being here from my backhand, using all my arm and shoulder and elbows, I'm going to take my paddle all the way back. Now I'm able to have leverage. Again, when I swing this normal backhand, I have no power, I complain I can't hit hard, I'm not good enough, I need more practice, I need to spend thousands more dollars on private lessons to get good. What am I? Look, I'm just swinging and arming it. But if I take the paddle back instead of starting here, if it's back, now look, I have leverage and momentum. I have leverage and momentum when I hit. And by having leverage and momentum in your shot, paired with rotation plus acceleration, you will get power. So how can we ensure that we always take the paddle back before you go towards any forehand or backhand third shot drive? You need to make sure your body is sideways and your paddle is backwards. I want you to think that someone's behind you when you hit, and all you're doing, pretend I'm here and you're turning, all you're doing is you're handing the paddle to the person behind you. By handing the paddle to the person behind you, that's going to ensure that your paddle is in the proper position. So just work on every single time, again, for backhand, return or drive, paddle back, handing it over, being sideways, and then I'm going to swing. I have much more power. Same thing for the forehand, sideways, paddle back, and then I'm going to swing. Now, since our body is in the proper position, since our paddle is back, the next thing that we have to do is we need to accelerate. Once we can rotate, then we can accelerate. How do you accelerate? You let the paddle go. When you do shadow swings, or if you're just pretending that you're going to hit a forehand or backhand drive or turn or even serve, you should be able to hear the whoosh. And what I mean by hearing the whoosh is you should hear the wind working against the paddle when you swing. When I'm swinging this paddle, I can hear the wind go against the paddle. If I swing super slow, I'm not going to be able to hear it. You need to let the paddle go. If you hold it tight, you're going to use your arm and shoulder and it's not going to be right. So the first thing, just to recap, when we hit our drives, returns, or serves, what are we doing? We're rotating our body and we're making sure our paddle is back. And same exact thing for the serve. When I'm serving, I'm going to be behind the line. I'm not just serving with my paddle here and swinging forward. I'm taking my paddle back and then I'm swinging forward to the ball so I have momentum into my shot. The next thing that we went over is what? Accelerating. We're swinging forward to the point that we can hear acceleration, we can hear the wind go against the paddle. A great way, and many players discount this, is to just breathe. Too many players go wrong because they hold their breath while they're swinging their shots. If you hold your breath, you're going to tense up and you're going to hold the paddle tight and you're going to slow your swing down. I want you to think when you turn, you're going to inhale on your take back and then you're going to exhale on your follow through. Same thing for the forehand. I'm going to inhale for my take back and then I'm going to exhale for my follow through. Inhaling and exhaling, making sure that I'm committing to my shot. And that's another thing that I want to bring up about this acceleration is commitment. A lot of players, they're afraid to hit their shots. The reason why, they're probably not turned, they're probably holding the paddle too tight. Now, because we're in the proper position, because our body's sideways, because our paddle's back, because we're accelerating forward, you're in the proper position, it's time to let your paddle go. If you want to hit a more powerful shot, you need to let your paddle go. I want you to think when you're on a grab claw in the arcade and you press that button, once you line it up and you press that button, there's nothing stopping it. It goes down, tries to pick it up, and then goes back up. If you have a gun and you fire that gun, you pull the trigger, nothing is stopping that bullet from flying. As soon as you pull the trigger, boom, it goes. You need to think of your swing the exact same way that you would think of a gun or a grab claw with the button at the arcade. I take my paddle back, I'm going to the ball, and as soon as I swing, I pull the trigger. There's nothing stopping it. I can't just slow it down. Why? Because I pulled the trigger. So what I need to do is I need to make sure as soon as I go, I pull the trigger, and here we are. I go for it again. I go to the ball, I pull the trigger, one more, here we are. I go to the ball, and then what? Exhale. Nothing is stopping my swing. So when you swing on your backhand or on your forehand, take your paddle back, and then as soon as you go, nothing stops it. When you follow through, they tell you for your forehand, your backhand, your drives, your returns, and your serves, you're following through over your shoulder. You want to make sure that nothing stops your swing until you touch your opposite shoulder. If I am doing my serve, I'm serving and I'm going to serve, and again, nothing is stopping my swing until I touch my shoulder. For my backhand, I pull the trigger, nothing is stopping my swing until I touch the shoulder. For the forehand, I swing, here we are, nothing is stopping my swing until I touch my shoulder. That is the mentality that you have to have. Let it go, just like in the song Frozen. So now we have our body sideways. Now we're pulling the trigger. Our paddle is back. We have leverage and momentum. Now it's time to not only get momentum from our swing, but it's time to get momentum from our body. If you can use your body for power in two different ways that we're going to go over right now, you're going to get more power on every single one of your pickleball shots. The first thing is forward momentum. A lot of players, where they go wrong or they're missing power or they're not even getting it, they're not taking advantage of power because they're just hitting and they're stopping. Number one, you need to get to the kitchen in pickleball. So this kills two birds with one stone. Not only by using this tip that I'm going to give you, you're going to get more power on your shot, but you're going to be in a more consistent and more aggressive and in a better position in pickleball. The closer you can get to the kitchen, the higher likelihood you have of winning the point, because you're going to hit the ball higher above the net rather than deep into the court where you're making contact either at or below the net. So number one, get up to the kitchen. But number two, use your momentum to get your shot forward and through the ball. I'm holding the paddle loose. I'm not using my arms and my shoulders. Before, you may have not been able to use your momentum because you were holding the paddle tight. But now, since we're holding the paddle loose, when I hit this ball, regardless of what drive I'm trying to hit, forehand or backhand, look, I'm not hitting and I'm going here. Watch what I'm doing. I'm going to hit and I'm going to move up and move forward through that ball. Again, it is night and day. It is a total difference between just standing here and hitting, or hitting and using my momentum forward. And once again, I'm also up at the kitchen and I'm in a more offensive place where I can hit. So I need to make sure I hit and I move forward and I move through the ball. I am using my power and my momentum into my shot. So if I'm hitting my forehand or backhand drive or return, two or one-hander, I'm making contact and I'm getting my body going forward. I'm not just hitting, waiting, and then moving. I'm hitting and I'm moving forward and through the ball. Now, the big thing with this is you need to make sure you keep your head down and your body down while you hit. You're going to lose a lot of momentum. You're going to lose a lot of power if you try to implement this tip and you're hitting and you're just picking your head up. I need to make sure when I make contact and I do this, I hit and I keep my body down at all times. If you use your momentum and you want to keep your shot consistent and in the court, you have to think that you're like tackling someone. You're like a football player. You're going into it. You're keeping your head down. You're not popping your body up. A lot of you subscribers, you'll try to do this tip. You'll try to use your momentum. You're going to get really excited. And what's going to happen? You're going to hit and you're going to pop your body up. And whenever your body goes up, your contact goes up and the ball goes out. The next thing that we need to do is not only getting our momentum forward, but generating our momentum from the ground up. All the power in pickleball comes from the ground up. It doesn't come from the top half of your body, it comes from the bottom half. A lot of beginner players, they think power exists because they have to use their arm and their shoulder. Notice, I'm just using the top half of my body. If you want to generate more power on your drive or your serve, notice I'm loading into the ground and then I'm exploding off the ground. I'm pushing down into the ground with my legs and then exploding up off the ground. I'm really loading on the back foot, stepping forward on my front foot, and moving forward. I want you to think you are loading and exploding. When you hit a forehand or backhand drive or return, you're turning and you're loading into your legs and then you're exploding forward. Same thing for the backhand. You're turning, you're loading into the legs and then you're exploding forward. I want you to notice about this high level concept called weight transfer. Many, even certified professionals, they've never played racket sports for over 10, 15, 20 years, and they don't understand this thing called weight transfer. And that's why a lot of players, they have tennis background, their shots look so good because they're able to implement this one thing. A lot of pickleballers think you just have to be forward when you hit. You need to move forward. Well, it's good that you're moving forward. That means you're getting up to the kitchen. But you won't get to the next level because you're thinking that everything is forward. All your weight is always forward. The high level players, what they do is they load on the backward, or they go back and then forward. And let me explain. When I'm hitting this drive, I'm not just stepping forward and hitting. I'm loading on my back leg and then I'm exploding on my front leg. Again, I'm loading and then I'm exploding forward. I'm rocking back or I'm loading back foot. So if I took my front foot off, I could weigh or balance myself in my back foot. And then what am I doing? I'm exploding to my front foot. To understand this weight transfer, literally go and turn and load on your back leg. Then pick your foot up real quick. Pick your foot up and hold it. Now you feel all your weight on that back leg and now explode forward to the front leg and freeze on your front leg. Again, same thing for the forehand. Load on my back leg. Here we are. Take it off just to really feel it. And then what am I doing? Exploding and finishing on my front leg. Now, your balance might be worse than mine or better than mine. You don't have to stay, but just to get that feeling of going back to forward, going back to in the court, going from the baseline to in the kitchen. A lot of pickleball players, they're never even going to get on their back foot. They're just going to go on their front foot the whole time. And they're going to wonder how to get power. They're going to use their arm and shoulder. Then they're going to be out in a couple months because they get tennis elbow. The reason why high-level players don't get injured and don't get tennis elbows because they're using this and they're not using this. I want you to think about lifting weights properly. Again, I haven't been lifting a lot of weights. However, I have been lifting weights recently because in October for Halloween, we are going to be K-pop demon hunters. My daughter wants us to be the whole group of K-pop demon hunters, this brand new show that every single younger kid loves. And I have to be the character. I do not know his name, but I have to learn the dance. It's kind of like this. I have to be the person with abs. And he has a shirt here, there's nothing here, and you gotta show your abs. So I've been working every single day. I've been weight training every single day. And I'm so sore in this video because I'm trying to get abs for my daughter for this K-pop demon hunters show. But getting back to it, when you lift weights, if you lift heavy weight and you just go and you bend your back and you pick it up, what's going to happen? You're going to break your back. You're going to hurt yourself. You're going to be out, right? If you lift heavy weight or if you lift something heavy, if you go down and you do it the wrong way, you're going to hurt yourself. So what do you have to do? If it's super heavy, you got to get into your legs, got to get into your drop down and really lift it up rather than using your back, right? There's a proper way to do it. It's the same exact thing when you're trying to drill forehand or backhands, drives or returns. If you don't do it the proper way or you don't use the proper body positioning or the proper form, what's going to happen? You're going to hurt yourself and you're going to be out of commission and you're not going to play as much pickleball. A lot of players and a lot of coaches, when they take instruction, they're focused on one thing, and that one thing is the result. All they're focused on is getting that ball over the net. And because it's a wiffle ball and because it's much slower, what can you do? Paddle back, swing forward. Good job, keep going. Paddle back, swing forward. Good job, yep, the ball's in. Good, it's over. But what they're not teaching, though, is they're not teaching the proper form. And if you break down or if you don't do the proper form, what's going to happen again is you are going to injure yourself. Think about when you lift things that are light. If you lift things that are light, if I lift this pickleball and I go down and get this pickleball, okay, over time, over thousands of reps, I'm going to eventually hurt myself. But if I do it the wrong way or whatever, I'm not going to hurt myself. But if that thing's super heavy, I am. When you try to implement more power into your game compared to when you first learned the form that you took in your instruction or wherever you learned how to hit or forehand or backhand in pickleball, you're going to add more power. It's just like now you're trying to squat 500 pounds, but you're doing it the wrong way. You're increasing your speed, and now what's happening? You're hurting your shoulder. So I can't emphasize enough, and I kind of went on a little tangent. I'm sorry, not sorry. If you want to prolong yourself for pickleball, you have to make sure if you want to generate power, you generate power from the right place. And again, that is from loading and exploding, using weight transfer, using momentum, letting the paddle work for you. Every single time that I go out to this ball, I'm loading on my back foot and then I'm exploding on my front foot and moving forward. I'm not just swinging. I'm not just on my front foot. I'm not even turning. I'm not like that. Same exact thing when we do the serve. If you guys are doing the serve, when you guys are back here with the serve, you're going to do the exact same thing. And I want you to watch this power sequence that we are going to do right now. Notice when I do this serve, I'm not just going forward. I'm not just going forward into it. A lot of players, they try to hit big, their weight's forward because they don't understand the weight transfer, and they swing. They have to use their whole arm and shoulder. Their ball goes out, or their shoulder or arm breaks down. Instead of just being forward, I want to think that I'm loading, rocking back, and then I'm exploding forward into the court. Again, there's two ways. You can either start forward, and then you can rock backward and then go forward, or you can start backward, rock backward, and then you can go forward and hopefully get it over the net, unlike that shot that I hit. But again, I'm here, I'm rocking backward. I like to rock backward personally, and then I'm going to finish forward into the court, or I could start backward again, stay backward, and then I can move automatically forward. If you can do that and start using that weight transfer instead of just going forward, that's going to help you get instantaneous power on every single one of your shots. Now with the serve, again, remember, we have to accelerate. We have to make sure that we let our paddle go. We can turn our body, and that's another thing. A lot of players are too wrong because they're facing straight ahead. If I'm facing straight ahead, I'm going to have to use all my arm and shoulder. If I want to get power on my serve, I'm going to face my dominant side net post. Now listen here. If I'm a right-handed player, my whole body, regardless of where I'm hitting, is pointed this way. If I'm a left-handed player, regardless of where I'm hitting, my whole body is pointing that way. By pointing my body that way, I'm doing it lefty now, I'm going to be able to rotate my body around. If I'm just pointing this way where I want to hit, look, whole arm and shoulder. By being this way though, pointing to my dominant side net post, now I'm able to rotate throughout my shot. Same thing, and we'll try to do it with a righty serve, that's way more natural for myself personally, is if I'm facing this way, look, same thing as not being turned when I hit a forehand or backhand, just my arm or shoulder. But when I'm sideways this way, facing the dominant side net post, now watch, I'm able to let it go, use all of our tips, rock forward, backward, look how rotate. Oh my gosh, my serve is so bad that I'm able to get now because I'm able to rotate my body properly. So that's basically everything from the baseline. Use the weight transfer, rock back to forward, or load and explode. Get your body into the ball. Keep your head down, your body forward, use your momentum, turn your body, take your paddle back, and make sure you accelerate. The last thing that we're going to go over for all these different shots are the backswing. Again, a lot of times when you learn pickleball, all you're doing is you're focused on getting the ball over the net. So you're taking your paddle back and you're swinging forward. If I can take my paddle back, you see how it's like, I'm kind of like doing a C. I take the paddle back top of the C, and then I drop it and swing. I have a backswing. When I take the paddle back for the backhand, here we are, and I swing. When I take the paddle back for the serve, I take it back and then swing. Give yourself a continuous swing. A lot of players go straight back and then they wait and then they're here. If I go straight back and then I wait, I don't have momentum. But if I go straight back and I drop and I'm swinging and I'm continually swinging and letting my paddle go, that kind of looks silly, right? But I'm going to be able to get momentum. If I'm here and I just swing forward, not going to have momentum. If I have a full swing and a backswing, now I'm going to be able to get momentum on my shots. Now, that's enough with back at the baseline. Let's get up to the kitchen because you're going to be moving forward through every single one of your shots, and now you're going to be up the kitchen way easier. And let's go. Here we are, how to get more power on your volleys, your putaways, your smashes. Let's go. So when I am up here, it's a tiny bit different compared to when I was back at the baseline hitting my drives, my returns, or my serves. However, there are many commonalities and there's many similarities. And the reason why is because all the exact same concepts apply except for one thing, and that is if you're hitting the ball in the air and you use forward momentum, what's going to happen? You're going to automatically lose the point and you're going to go into the kitchen. So essentially everything else that we worked on, it's the exact same thing. The other thing that I want you to understand is when you are up at the kitchen, the faster you hit the ball, the faster the ball comes back. Further back at the baseline, if you want to go big, if you want to get power, you can really swing across your body. You have enough time to get back into the proper position. If I hit a ball super hard and that player returns it and I swing across my body and the ball comes back, I'm not going to get my paddle out ready to the next ball. So what you need to make sure that you need to do is you always finish and keep your paddle in a smaller vicinity. You want to take a shorter swing. You always want to keep your paddle out in front. Again, when I hit a drive, I can go here, pull the trigger, fully follow through. If I do that for my volley and I swing and I pull the trigger and follow through, the ball's going to come here and then boom, I'm going to get body bagged. I need to make sure when I finish in the middle of my body at all times. I never go across my body. So a great way to think about this is you're using less of your arm and shoulder or your body rotation, and you're doing more with your wrist. The slower the ball, the more you can get away with rotating your body and taking a big swing. However, the faster the ball, the less you can do with your rotation, the more concise you have to be, and the more wrist you have to use. Let's explain. So everyone, my daughter, Sienna, over here, she just stopped by to say hi to her dad while we were recording, while I'm recording. She just came home from school Friday, right? Let's go movie night. However, we're going to go over this. So what happens is, ready? Throw a ball at daddy. So wait, I'll tell you when, ready? So throw it, like try to get me, like dodgeball, ready? So what happens is though, they swing a big swing, right? Throw it at me, and then look, they get them, and you can't get a next ball because look, my paddle's here. Back there, I could do that because I had time, but up here, time is currency. So what I need to do, ready again? You're not gonna get me this time, ready? So after I swing here, and then look, I'm ready for the next shot. I swing, and I always stop in the middle. Even if I'm taking a giant backswing, I'm staying right here. Then the next thing is if the ball comes really fast, you wanna throw another one at me? Here we are, if the ball comes really fast, say Sienna jets it at me, look, I don't have time for a backswing. That was a really good throw. That was like a strike. Did you see that? Sign her to the Phillies, let's go. But notice, I didn't have time for a backswing. So if you wanna hit up at the kitchen and you wanna get power up the kitchen, you have to use your wrist. And many players don't do this. And it's very frustrating. I see in clinics, what happens is throw us one up like this. You're gonna toss the ball like that, okay? They throw a floater, they get this high ball that they can kill, right? Here we are. And they go like this. They didn't end the point, they just pop it up, hit it right back, and you have to continue to play the point. What you need to do is instead of just killing or just tapping it, you need to kill it. Ready? Stay over here because I'm gonna hit it hard, right? Throw it up. And look what I do, ready? You see how I used my wrist? This is how you get power. This is how you blow out your arm and shoulder and how you can't get to the next ball. So what do you think? Tell everyone, come over here real quick and share everyone how to hit a big ball. Tell them your thoughts real quick. Come over here, camera.
You use your wrist.
How do you use your wrist?
Okay.
Here we are. So watch Sienna, right? Sienna's going to be over here with me. Kind of afraid because she's going to kill the ball at me. Mommy, make sure we're in camera. And watch what happens. She's going to put her paddle up, and this is what we teach her. And she's going to snap her wrist down. So this is what we teach Sienna. Now we let Sienna be up at the kitchen because the only thing that we're focusing on is using our wrist. So you're going to put your paddle up in there, and then what are you going to do? Snap your wrist down. Boom, there we are. Watch the ball, ready? Yes, snapping more. One more, at me. Ah! And look how good that was. Why? Because she's using her wrist. This is the motion, how you get power when you're hitting your put away volleys. You're going here, here. It's like you're floating a basketball right into the hoop. And now we're gonna have an intermission real quick for the soda pop dance, and this is the costume I'm trying to get the abs for. Ready? Take a bow. Curtsy. Yay, all right. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you're still watching. So when you do it, you snap your wrist down. You don't use your arm and the shoulder. When there's a high ball, you snap your wrist. Now, the big thing is when the ball is high, you have to make sure that you adjust your grip in the proper position. If your grip isn't in the proper position, the ball's gonna go long and out. A lot of players, they have this dink. Look, my paddle's like this, right? So now the ball's high, and look, the ball goes long. So what I need to do though, is when I smash the ball down, instead of my paddle being here, I need to adjust my paddle here, make sure my paddle is vertical. Paddle's vertical when it's above the net, and then I can swing down. So when I snap my wrist down, notice what's gonna happen. It's going to bring the ball down. So I need to always make sure when it's high, I snap my wrist downward and make sure my paddle is vertical, either for the forehand or the backhand, because again, same thing for a forehand. Players have the dinking grip, they swing hard, and it goes long, and the reason why is because their paddle isn't vertical. Whenever the ball's above the net, around your ears or above your ears, doesn't matter what height you are, you need to be here, you don't need to be here. Now, if you want to hit more power on lower shots. Balls that are more neutral, not smashes, putaways, exact same thing. We're taking a smaller swing, but we're getting into our legs. This is where players go wrong. They try to hit a powerful volley and they just use their whole arm and their shoulder. Instead of just using their whole arm and shoulder, they need push down into the ground with their legs and then off the ground. Notice, if I want to hit a heavy volley, what am I doing? Loading and exploding. I'm pushing down and up. Now, again, yesterday was leg day for my beach body thing. I'm not actually allowed to tell people I do beach body according to my wife. However, beach body thing, my legs are super sore again, trying to get these abs and everything for a dance that we just did. But you have to push down into the ground and off the ground. Again, load in my legs and explode. Notice it's not just swinging, it's loading and pushing off. Same thing for the forehand. Again, I'm not just swinging down, I'm loading and exploding, loading and exploding. This is where all of the power comes from. It doesn't come from your swing. By using your legs, it's also going to help you get under the ball when you have more of a neutral shot. When the ball's high, I can come down. I don't need to use my legs. But look, here I'm standing up straight and I hit a ball here. When I swing, it's going in the net. Now, if I'm loading and I'm exploding, I'm actually getting under the ball and I'm going to be able to be aggressive by lifting the ball over the net. That's why the higher level you get in pickleball, the higher level you get, the lower players can attack the balls. When you play beginner pickleball, they can only smash balls up here. When you play advanced pickleball, they can start smashing balls below the net. And why is that? Because they're getting into their legs and they're allowing them to lift up. So I want you to really think that you are getting into your legs. The last thing is, when you're ever hitting neutral balls, you need to accelerate. With the smash, with the overhead, with the roll volleys, you're continually accelerating. Now, when you accelerate, that doesn't mean you come across your body. Remember, you have to finish in the middle if you want to hit power, because faster ball comes, faster it comes back. But notice, I'm letting my paddle go. The more I let my paddle go, the better it's going to be. I want you to think. You press the button, whop, whop, boom, 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 right? It's like a jab. That's not slow. You're not going out the ball. So you're really going. Now, last thing that we can go over is you don't really necessarily want to hit powerful dinks, but you can do it for dinks. But this is also going to be for speed ups. If you want to hit powerful dinks or powerful speed ups, what you need to do is you need to get into your legs again. The difference is, when you are hitting a dink or a speed up, what can you use? Now we can start using our momentum again. So we're keeping our body down, we're keeping our body forward, but a lot of players, where they go wrong is that they're just if they're speeding up, they're just moving back maybe and make space for a ball, or they're just swinging and using their whole arm and their shoulder. If they hit powerful, where's the ball going to go? It's going to go out every single time. Instead of doing that, I need to use the weight transfer. I need to get in my legs. I need to move back and I need to finish forward. Again, I need to move back and then finish forward. Notice how I get behind the ball. I'm getting low and lowing. I said load because I was talking about load and loading, low and loading, but I'm moving back. I'm getting low. I'm loading on my back leg, and then I'm exploding and finishing forward. If I want to do a heavy topspin roll dink, I'm loading and then exploding. Look, see how I pushed him off the court? If I want to hit a speed up, I'm loading and then I'm exploding. I'm really going back and finishing forward. I can't get any lower. My legs are so darn sore, but I'm really thinking, same thing for the forehand. If I'm here, I'm loading and then exploding, loading and then exploding. I am not just standing there and trying to use my arm and shoulder. Think that you're going back and then you're finishing forward. So the weight transfer really applies. It's kind of crazy. Back at the baseline, and this is why I love doing these videos, because I teach myself different things and I learn new concepts or ways to explaining something by just going over and over, trying to teach you guys how to do this in different ways. When you're back at the baseline, you have all the time. There's no falling into the kitchen rule. So you can be really wild and finish across your body, and you can use all your momentum forward. So you're on one side of the spectrum. Now, when you're up at the kitchen and you have a volley, or you have something going on like that, what happens? When you're up at the kitchen, you can't fall into the kitchen. So you have to not use your forward momentum, and you have to keep your wrists forward. Now, when you're playing behind the kitchen line, when you're hitting a dink, or you're hitting a speed up, or even maybe in the transition zone, if you want to hit power, now, because you're letting the ball bounce, you can use momentum, but you got to keep your wrist short. So back at the baseline, go across your body, use your momentum. Up the kitchen, in the air, taking volleys, no momentum, but use your wrist and keep your paddle out front. When you're up the kitchen hitting balls off the bounce like speed ups or aggressive dinks, now you can move back and forward and use your momentum, but you have to make sure you keep your paddle in front, because if you don't, what's going to happen? The ball's going to come right back. Again, when I'm hitting a forehand or backhand, I'm here coming across my body. When I'm up the kitchen, I'm here getting into my legs and I'm finishing in front. I'm extremely contained because I can't fall in the kitchen. I have to be ready for the next ball. But when I'm hitting off the bounce, now I can really get in my legs and use my momentum, but I still have to make sure that I finish in front so I can get ready to counter the next ball. So if you can implement every single one of these tips and use these different commonalities, depending if you're hitting off the bounce up at the kitchen, hitting in the air at the kitchen, or back at the baseline, hitting a serve, return, or drive, you're going to get more power on every single one of your shots. Now, we did many power videos. There are probably a lot of how to hit power videos that are done by me on YouTube. However, this one's different because I tried to, instead of going over every single shot, I went over specific things to do that you can implement every single one of your shots, into every single one of your shots. So I hope this benefits you as much as it benefited me. A lot of players, they think, I want to hit hard, I want to get power, I want to get more pop on my shots. So, well, I need to do this, that, that. Guess what? Accelerate more, breathe, use your momentum, keep your body down, load in your legs, transfer your weight, basically what we did in every single one of your shots. We taught you exactly how to do it. Push in the ground, off the ground if it's volleys, load on your back leg, explode forward if it's your drives, right? Load and explode, rock back and forward or stay back and then forward if it's your serve. Do these different things, implement them into all of your shots, and you will get more power on every single one of your shots. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to share with your pickleball group chat. Share with your group chat. Share this wherever you want. Just share this video and help support this channel. It's better than a subscribe. It's better than a like. Please help spread the word. Me seeing my videos doing well, hearing that you guys are enjoying it, hearing that it's improving every single one of your games, it's motivating me to come out every other day and create content. Today, I was super busy at Universal Rackets. We're releasing all of our programs this week. I've never been busier. I've never stared at a computer screen for so long. The last thing I want to do is come out here when it's hot and record these videos. I could be at home, I could be doing this, I could do that, but I made a commitment to release a video every other day. And it's very motivating and very exciting when you start to see things do well. Sometimes it's not, I understand it's part of the process, but if you guys can help share and support this channel, it's going to continue to help me grow this channel. And a lot of people, they all are giving me these recommendations. Oh, well, you need this, you need that, you need 2 cameras on yourself, you need this editor, you need this form. Hey, guess what? If we're able to grow this channel to a certain threshold, maybe I'll be able to start investing into those different things that you want. I like to say, hey, I would love to see a video of you doing, or will you come and pay for the cameras for me or go do it yourself? I mean, maybe just say thank you for the video instead. But hey, I guess all suggestions are good and all feedback is good feedback. So again, the number one thing that I want to know is if this helped you right now get power on every single one of your shots, please share this with your group chat. Click all the links in the description. Carbon, amazing paddles. Everyone's talked about these things. Now, not every single person knows Carbon, but you need to know Carbon. At Universal Rackets, we gifted all of our instructors a Carbon pickleball paddle. And every single instructor has their go-to paddle. Oh, Tyler, you gave me this paddle. I don't know. I want to use it, but I'm in love with my other paddle. Then 2 days later, I get a text, best paddle ever, using it every single one of my matches. I kid you not, every single one of our amazing instructors said that, because that is how good these paddles are. Another thing is with these Carbon pickleball paddles, after I was done with my prior sponsor, I had a period where I used 2 for $80 blacked out Amazon paddles. And I was not going to use any other paddle or market any other paddle until I got a better deal. Before I got any type of sponsorship or anything whatsoever, I saw this hype about the carbon pickleball paddle. I asked, they hooked me up with paddles, and I used them before I even had any type of commitment. Before, I never used any other paddle except the one that my sponsor gave me, and I specifically chose to use this without any type of gig. And I could get any paddle from any place basically for free because they'd love for me to use them in all my videos because all you guys see it. So I was playing with this paddle before I even had a partnership with Carbon, and that's how good. It's my paddle of choice, my only paddle of choice, and I would love for you to try to implement it in your game. You'll see a lot of good results, amazing spin, amazing pop, amazing control. There's the 1, the 2, the 3, and the 4. This is 4, has brand new arrow curve. You get more hand speed, and the best thing about the Carbon pickleball paddles is what? Guess what? You have a 30-day return. I'm pretty sure it's a 30-day. Check on the website just to make sure, but you can get it, you can try it, see if you like it, take my word for it, and if you don't like it for any reason, just send it back, get a refund. Get a refund, they'll be good. So just try it, try it, try it, try it. These are the best paddles ever. Use the link in the description, code UNIVERSAL for, I think it's like 10% at checkout. Use my code, help spread the word, and I will see you guys next time on court.